What's going on, guys? I'm here on Rocky. Rocky is a 9-year-old Tennessee walking horse, and he had a real difficult time walking out here on the trail. Anytime that you would go anywhere, he had a real difficult time just putting his head down like this and walking. So I want you guys to remember the control the head, control the horse series. And if you've seen those videos already, you know that you can do spirals to gain control of the head, and you can flex in motion. Once you have that control of their head, you're gonna have the ability to be able to drop their head. The dropping of the head is so important for like a horse like this. He was stuck with his head high up in the air. This guy would jack his head way up. The more you pulled, the more he pulled, the more you pulled, the more he pulled, and he wasn't able to walk because of it. I want you to think when horses are relaxed and they're calm, they have their head down, okay? Right before they take off, like if you look around here, you see all these horses out in the field, and they all have their head down, doing their favorite job, eating our money, getting fatter. And that's what their head down. Right before they're about to take off, they pop their head up and off they go. Their head comes up and their nose comes out every time that they're about to blast off. Well, I find the exact same thing when you have a trail horse like Rocky here that you can't get to walk. The folks who can't get their horse to walk, they also don't have control of the horse's head. What I mean by that is if his head jacks way up and I pull on him and he pulls on me, all that does is get more adrenaline in the situation, adds more fuel to the fire. I need the ability to simply be able to pull both reins and drop his head. And when I can do that I can drop his head like that and move him at the horizontal, I can take a horse that never walked, and that's the whole reason he was sent here, to walk calmly and flatly. Now, a lot of folks think that if you have a gaited horse, oh, you can't ride with quarter horses, they walk too fast. What do you mean they walk too fast? A horse is only walking too fast if you can't dictate the pace of the walk. But I want to make sure, hey, Rocky, I don't care what breed you are, I don't care how fast you want to walk, you need to be able to go at whatever speed that I want you to walk. So you see right here, anytime that he goes any faster than that, I'll put pressure until he drops his head, and then I release. And say he was to get all pepped up and really get fired up, I would simply grab up on the reins. Oh, the second he relaxes, drops his head, now I'm gonna drop the reins. So many people have a hard time walking horses because they let it escalate. Because the educators in the horse industry all come from cold horses. So they tell you, hey, spin the horse in a circle real tight and he'll walk for you. Hey, run him until he doesn't want to run anymore and then he'll walk for you. Understand that these methods do work, but they only work if your horse is lazy and doesn't want to work. For any gaited horse, for any hot horse, for any horse that wants to go, adding more fuel to the fire is not going to help you. What you need to do is cut everything off. And for this guy, I tell him, excuse me, bud, drop your head, be calm and quiet, or I'm not going to allow you to do anything else. So if he was dancing and prancing and moving all over here and wasn't going anywhere, I would simply hold him right here, and the moment all 4 feet stood in one place, I would release. Hold him right here, and as soon as all 4 feet stood in one place, I would release. Until here, standing still was the only place he can find release. Once I have him standing still with all 4 feet on the ground, loose rein like this, I'm looking for 1 of 3 signs. Either 1, he takes a big exhale. 2, he drops his head. Or 3, he kicks the hip out. If I wait for 1 of these 3 signs, just like that, no, just like that, then I just squeeze just enough for that first foot to move and then release my legs after that. Now I'm gonna get that nice, quiet, humble trail walk that everybody wants. And that's really what it's all about. Making it crystal clear to the horse exactly what we're looking for. And I've been able to make it clear to Rocky, buddy, I will accept nothing else but this. If it takes us 2 hours to make it 200 meters back to the house, that's okay with me because you're not going anywhere until you do it walking. And whenever you make it that simple, on day 1, the trail ride might be, 2 hours long. But guess what? On day 2, it's an hour long. On day 3, the 20-minute trail ride walking takes you 20 minutes because they walk, because they know that they're not going anywhere if they pop that head up and get excited. So at the end of the day, if we're able to control that head and drop it down, just like that, we're able to drop his poll, which is the length between his ears, below his withers, which is right here over his shoulders. And anytime a horse drops his head, below his shoulders, it releases an endorphin that kills adrenaline, that relaxes them. That's why when the horses are out in the fields, they all have their head down when they're relaxed. And whenever they run off like banshees, they pick their head up, they pick their tail up and they run off. So our ability to take a horse like this, that his whole life he's been in a big bit, pushed forward, jacked up, energy, and tell him, hey, excuse me, sir, will you drop your head? In the beginning, he was incapable to give the pressure or to drop his head or to flex or anything. So it was pointless to try to get him to walk. It was just going to be a fight. So the only thing that we cared about in the beginning was controlling his head, being able to get him to flex easy. We started with a halter, now we're in a snaffle. And simply being able to say, excuse me, look how now, this guy that was so stiff 30 days ago, I can just put his face wherever I want it. Remember, this guy's 9 years old, and from the time he was 3, his head was up here in a big bit with some spurs on, getting pushed forward by somebody. Okay? Not that we're not going to talk about anybody else's training, but although that might work for a show ring or trying to get energy out of a horse, it is not conducive to a nice flat trail walk. So whenever someone buys this horse and then wants them repurposed for a trail, they have to bring it to somebody like me or you that knows, hey, I got to be able to control the head to control the horse. If I can get them to relax and drop their head, well then whenever I squeeze, they give me one step, I release. Now we can walk off down the trail and have a good time. Well, I'm about to head off on the trail. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you get your horses walking. All right, guys. So these are the pro tips for getting a horse to walk flat on the trail. Pro tip number 1, if the horse gets high and excited and starts pulling on you, don't pull back. If he's getting hot and going forward and getting fast, stop him. Shut it down. Don't let him get more than one step of excitement until you say, no, I want you right here. Excuse me, stop. Make it crystal clear. You pulling on him and him pulling on you is not clear. It's static in the communication. Stopping him and shutting him down is crystal clear communication. And it goes from pressure to release. And anywhere he goes is pressure and release. Pro tip number 2, you want to make sure that no matter what's going on, whether the horses are too far in front of you, horses are behind you, there's dogs, you're going back to the barn, whatever it is, there's no excuses. When you're in the mix of trying to fix a horse and get them to walk no matter what, then you have to walk them no matter what. If you get excited just because there's a horse by you or they're close to the barn and you say, well, it's okay, he knows his friends are there. That excuse you give them is going to be their limitation. Don't give the horse any limitations. Make sure they walk for you no matter what. Pro tip number 3, if you can get a horse to stop, you can get a horse to walk. No matter how hot the horse is, if they respect your stop, that you can stop and stand still with all 4 feet like this, drop the reins. People if they think a horse is going to dance around or move off, they want to constantly hold the reins, which constantly keeps that adrenaline going in the horse. Stop and drop the reins. What if he moves? If he moves, bring him right back, stop. Bring him right back, stop. He goes forward, back him. He goes back, forward. He goes to the right, left. Goes to the left, right. Right here marks the spot. This is the only place that you're going to get a release. Whenever you get to this point of release, wait for the 1 of 3 signs. A big exhale, he just gave us one. A drop of the head, or he kicks out a hip and gets on his tippy toes in the back. If he does any of these 3 things, then you simply squeeze your legs until you get 1 step. When he gives you that first step, release your legs and simply let him walk off flat. These are your 3 pro tips for how to get a horse to walk flat on the trail. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure to get in the comments below and give us your feedback. Let us know what all problems you're having, if you're having any problems with the steps, if there's more videos or problems that you would like to see. We just want to better help you bond with your horse and help fix some of your equine problems and reach your equine goals.